I know that you have a bone to pick with MTA. You've got a lot of hot thoughts in this area.
Mhm.
Daryl and I do as well. We've
Yeah.
chatted with a lot of folks that are kind of measurement experts there. And I wanted to ask you this question around like some of your hot thoughts. So like I used to have this association that attribution was the same thing as multi-touch attribution. Like
Mhm.
for the longest time, someone said attribution, that equaled MTA to me.
Mhm.
But we had several experts on the show that kind of like pointed out that multi-touch attribution is just one of the many attribution methods.
Mhm.
MTA is click-based or touch-based attribution modeling. Attribution is a lot bigger than that. It's a
Mhm.
category of understanding the results of campaigns, and
Right.
there's a variety of ways of doing that. MTA is just one of those.
Correct.
So when you say marketing attribution is a waste of time and you shouldn't do it,
Yeah.
just want to clarify if you mean like MTA is a waste of time, or are you kind of suggesting that the whole topic of understanding the results of your campaign is also a waste of time?
I think the whole thing is a waste of time.
Mm,
And it's really about the approach to it that I really have a bone to pick with. It's not even attribution as itself as an entity. I think the way people approach it is not. So what my biggest issue with it is that, and this is general in marketing ops and in companies right now who are digitally focused. We send out the campaign, and basically what you're saying is, audience, tell me what you like based on the spaghetti I threw against the wall. And that's not how we should approach marketing at all, right? We need to reverse that. We need to go, market research is, you've already done this work. You already know what they want. And then we're trying to get down to the nuance of how they want it. That's how this should work. But it doesn't work like that. And then you want people to tell you something based on your guesses and assumptions. It's not even fair to the audience, right? So I think that's my biggest, when the punchline I'm trying to get people to understand when I say attribution is a waste of time, is because you're not even doing this right to begin with. You don't even have this right in your head. So that's the punch. But if you do want to like understand what's quote unquote working, which I think is what
mhm.
attribution is set to do, is that the approach to it has to be broken down into the buyer's journey and campaigns within the buyer's journey. So right now what we do is we send out a webinar and an email and a white paper and some syndication, and we say in an event of some sort, trade show, and we go, what if all of that spaghetti is working? In what context? To do what? Right? Like, is it just get the leads in? Is it pipeline attribution? Is it close business? Is it what's giving me the most bang for my buck? We don't even start with those. Like, all of those are way different questions, way different models, way different processes going to track all that stuff. What are we trying to figure out here? Companies don't even know that. Let's just say it's pipeline attribution, for example, right? Okay, we know in our logical mind that a white paper in a B2B context is not going to contribute to pipeline. That's not how that works, right? We know that. But most attribution models are set up like that. That's the campaign, right? And then we go, of the white paper, of the event, of this thing, what's working? And you say, okay, there's multi-touch. I'll give a percentage of the credit of the pipeline to the white paper, a percentage to the event, a percentage to the webinar. Who's to say from a customer standpoint, why 20%? Why 25%? Why 30%? It's all arbitrary. It makes no sense. I can't make decisions off of my assumptions internally that where that goes to. So now you're setting yourself up for failure because you're just making a guess, right? So really what I say, if you're going to do attribution at all, is the only way that I think that actually helps you is the white paper is the interest stage asset. I need to now get, or the awareness stage, so starting at the top. The next thing I need them to do is go to the white paper, because that's going to tell them how my product actually works. How good is the white paper at driving people to the webinar, right? Okay, now the webinar is the interest. Now I got to get people to the consideration. How good is the webinar at getting people to the demo? Okay, then that's a fair way to judge. And then I can optimize based off that. If the white paper is not good at getting people to the webinar, I need to do something better. I can fix it. I maybe need another asset. I can judge based off that, so on and so forth. then I can make sound marketing decisions that are based on what the audience is engaging in, instead of just assuming and guessing that that's the natural thing to have happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's like the subjectivity and the complexity. Both of those at the same time make attribution, almost useless for like, I'm trying to get like, I'm just guessing here, maybe 50%.
Yeah.
50% of marketers, I think it's almost useless. Like, so, I was running marketing ops and demand gen for like a 500 person company, and we're trying to figure out attribution. And we tried this, we tried that, all of the digital touch points, like sales never bought in. We finally figured it out when we had SDRs tag where the leads came from, where the meetings came from. And then all of a sudden it all came together. It had nothing to do with technology. It was all just process. That's like that's the first part. It is like, it's more about alignment. The second thing is like just what you said. When I did one of my presentations at MOPSA, I literally said what you said, Moni. Like, if you have a U-shaped model for marketing attribution, that means 40% to the first touch, 40% to the last touch, and then the other 20% is spread among the middle. Who came up with 40? Like, why isn't it 45? Or why isn't it 35? So like the like arbitrariness, like totally, I think gets you. I think the complexity is the other thing. It's just, there's so many moving factors that the average person cannot make a decision based on that. And what I think Moni is saying, because we were talking about this earlier, is that it's actually much more productive if you just kind of narrow your focus a little bit. Does the webinar work? Are people showing up to the event? Are people clicking on the ad? It's like, it's more productive and useful. But I don't know, Phil, if you agree or you're like against us, but I tend to be like
definitely
actually more...
I'm definitely not a multi-touch attribution like promoter here. I think early in my career, I thought it was like the holy grail and like the only way to finally give an answer to the CEO who keeps asking us, what drove revenue last quarter? Or what is the one tactic or channel or campaign that we should double down on next week? Like, we just didn't have ways to answer those questions without making every single thing that we do have a treatment group and a control group, and in a small startup is just like not feasible. So we bought an attribution platform, and then we were looking at like a W-shaped model, and this one piece of content looked really good and that one campaign looked really good. But then when we switched it to like a model that emphasized more last touch, then it completely changed like the credit that we were giving to different things. And so to your guys' point, like I think there's a ton of subjectivity in there. It's really hard to defend today, especially in this like digital touch point world.